What's up, guys? Welcome to the Peer Review Podcast. My name is Caleb Davis, and I hope you all are having a great Friday and you have some exciting plans heading into this weekend. Today, I wanted to hop on here and just talk a little bit about the Trae Young trade that we saw happen a couple of nights ago. I wanted to give my thoughts on both sides, kind of why I think it happened. I want to give grades on both sides, and I want to finish off just talking about the NBA trade market and kind of where I think things are headed and the overall landscape as things currently stand. So, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Just a little bit of background if you haven't heard. On Wednesday, January 7th, during the middle of the Hawks vs. Pelicans game, the news broke that Trae Young was going to be traded to the Washington Wizards for CJ McCollum and Corey Kispert. Now, for a lot of NBA fans, this trade wasn't, I'd say, necessarily surprising because you heard a lot of reporting up until the point that Trae Young was going to be moved. They were working with the Hawks to get a deal done, and they were just kind of feeling out offers and seeing what teams were going to throw out there. I want to start by saying just based on all the reporting that I saw and things that were going around, it kind of seems like the Wizards were the only team lining up to even trade for him or to give anything of, I guess, of value. I don't even know if you consider what they gave of value, but it kind of seems like they were the only team really willing, and especially I think willing to extend Trae Young, because I think that was the biggest thing for him, getting that next, max or near max level contract. Now, as far as the trade was concerned, like contracts on both sides, Trae Young's making around $46 million annually. He has a year left this season, and then he has a player option for next season, which I assume he's going to pick up. CJ McCollum is on a $32 million expiring deal, so expiring, especially for that large of an amount, that's seen as a positive asset. And then Corey Kispert, which I don't know, like I'm gonna be honest, I don't watch a ton of Wizards games. I don't really think anyone's does outside of Wizards fans. No disrespect to Washington, like if they're on and that's the only game of the day, like, I'll tune in here and there. Like I've seen a couple, but he's just, from what I know, just like a role player, like 3-point shooter. Like he's a pretty good 3-point shooter, but not a ton of value. So that's kind of how the trade was able to work. He was thrown in there as like salary filler. So like CJ McCollum was like the big, I guess, prize in this trade. I guess me doing all that, you can kind of see where my head's at with this trade. But I'm going to start, like, why did this trade happen? What kind of led up to it? What was each team thinking? I'm going to start with the Hawks because that's like the big fish in this equation. Like them moving off their franchise superstar or star, however you want to put it. He was an all-star for them. He was an all-NBA player. He made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. Like he had a lot of big moments with the Hawks, so I don't want to downplay that at all. I think the kind of writing has been on the wall for the past couple of seasons because the Hawks they haven't been very good. With Trae Young playing, without him playing, like they just haven't been a very good team. And I think the nail in the coffin was this season because, like, if you look at the way the roster was constructed, I feel like on paper, like if you were to look at this and just think Trae Young with all these long athletes and, a rim running center, you have 2 shot blocking centers, like you have depth, you have like just a bunch of versatile athletes around him. That's the big thing. You want guys that can finish for him, finish off of his open, like the shots that he's creating, the looks that he's creating, and also be able to cover for him defensively. That didn't pan out though this season. When Trae Young played for this Hawks team this year, they were 2-8. And I don't think, I think too much of that is thrown on him. Like, I don't think they were just losing it. Like, it wasn't just as simple as like, oh, bring Trae Young back, like we lose. Like, no, I think it was like a plethora of a bunch of different things that kind of led up to this outcome. Like, I think Zachary Ricochet and Jalen Johnson, like I don't think they've defended as well as they have in years past. Like even last year, like I think they both were like levels ahead of how they are this year. Like Jalen Johnson's obviously taken a step offensively, but defensively, like he's damn near taken that same step backward. Like he hasn't been as good, which you kind of understand. Like when you pick up like an offensive role and you become like the team's lead initiator, lead shot creator, your usage goes up. Obviously, you're going to take a dip on the defensive end. That's pretty normal. You see that across, like, it's very rare to see, like, insane two-way stars like Giannis or Kawhi in his peak. Like, there's a give and a take. So, like, I'm not gonna put too much like into that, but I think that has led to like their lackluster defense that you've seen. I think Kristaps Porzingis being hurt has also hindered their defense. Like you lose a rim protector, like a big body in the paint. Like yeah, he's smaller. Like I say smaller, but he's skinnier than like a lot of bigs. But like he's still a great shot blocker. He's a great stretch five. Like you just lose that kind of aspect of your offense, and it's depth at the end of the day. I think that played a part. I think Trae Young hasn't played well this season. In the 10 games that he did play for the team, he's averaging 19 points, 19.3 points, excuse me, 9 assists, and he's shooting 41% from the field and 30% from three. So those aren't like well below league average shooting from three as an undersized point guard, who's like known and like marketed as this 3-point shooter, this long range shooter. Like that's not good. So like I understand that. And they were also minus 37 on the season when he plays. So just losing a ton of his minutes. And like I have some pushback because I feel like Trae Young, I think at this point he's kind of become a bit underrated with the way like he's mentioned and talked about. Like I don't think he should have went for CJ McCollum and Corey Kispert. Like I think like no picks out of that is insane to me. But I'll talk about that later. One thing I do want to say though, in terms of like the shooting, Trae Young has never just been like he's been marketed as this like elite 3-point shooter. Like oh he's up there with like Steph and Dame but that's simply never really been the case throughout his career. He's only shot above league average twice from three in his career. And I don't mean that as like a slight. And I know he takes like difficult shots, which sometimes is on him. Sometimes he has to settle like based on the team construction. But like at the end of the day, he's not making them at the same clip as like a guy like Dame or Curry or hell, like even like a like Jalen Brunson right now. Like he's not doing like his efficiency is not on the same tier as those guys, which I think will always have him marked like a tier or two below those guys. And I think what he's marketed as has not always like I don't think people actually watch him play. I think that's the big thing behind it. And I think that's why that reputation is kind of stuck. Like, yes, he can hit clutch shots and he can hit deep threes, but like that's never just been like he's never been a shooter like Curry or like Dame. Like I'm gonna keep saying that. But as far as this trade goes, I think it on the Hawks side, like getting off of Trae Young allows you to pivot towards like you've been hearing a lot about Anthony Davis potentially coming to Atlanta. And I really like that fit. Like I think he pairs well with Jalen Johnson. He'll probably have to play the 5 more than he likes, but you got to get over that. Like you got to get over it. Like but this team with all the wings that they have and then you bring in an AD theoretically anchoring this defense, I think it could boost them up to levels that they're not currently in and that they couldn't reach with Trae Young on the team right now. You do lose that shot creation and ball handling and you're asking a lot from a guy like Nickeil Alexander-Walker. He's been great this season, but you're asking him to step up as a point guard and as a playmaker and as a facilitator. You're asking more of Jalen Johnson. And I think in the long run, it'll be good for those guys. I don't know how well it'll pan out this season. But you bring AD to this team. I see the vision that the Hawks are going for. I don't know if you extend him, especially after this recent hand ligament injury that happened last night. Like AD can't catch a break. It genuinely sucks. Like if I'm the Hawks, I'm realistically rethinking trading for him because of he wants this max extension. Like you've seen that come out. I don't really see how you can give him a max extension. Like AD simply can't stay healthy. And like he's one of my favorite players in the league to watch. I'm a big AD fan. And it's frustrating for him because like the injuries that you see happen, and I'm going on a little tangent here, but like the injuries, like it's never like, oh, the same, like, oh, he messed up his knee and that's just been a thing his entire career. Like, no, it's like, oh, it's his finger, it's his nose, it's his orbital bone, it's his jaw, it's his like his hand ligament. It's never like his groin. Like it sucks. Like it's always random freak injuries. Like, and you can't predict that. You can't, you can't prevent a lot of this. Like he'll fall down wrong. He'll get his knee buckled into. Like it sucks, but it's a real concern. And the one, I guess, counter argument I have to them saying like, oh, okay, maybe we don't want him anymore is like, if you bring him in, you have Onyeka Okongwu, who's like a great backup big. He's a starting center in the league, I think. And like, not that you can sustain AD just being out, but like, let's say he has to miss a game or two in the playoffs. I don't think there's like this extreme drop off to where like you can't win games if he has to go down for a bit. So that's the Hawks side of this. Now moving on to the Wizards side, I like at first I was kind of like, why? Like that doesn't make sense to me. But if you take a step back and look at how their team's constructed and what they kind of lack right now, it's an elite ball handler and shot creator. Like they have their young guards, they have Bub Carrington, they have Trey Johnson, but I don't think they're ready and at the level yet and have the enough reps and experience to be, you know, a trusted lead ball handler. Like I think bringing in a guy like Trae Young is gonna mentor them. He's gonna be able to just because he's been an all-star. He's an all NBA guy, and this is where I say like his value is like diminished so much, and I think unfairly at times. Like I think he can come in and show these guys how to like. He's just gonna be a great presence on them, and I think that's gonna go kind of unmentioned. But moving forward, I think this is a low risk move for the Hawks. You're not good right now. Like I don't want to say you have nothing going for you because you have young guys coming up. You're trying to tank for this pick this year, and I think if you can pull all that off, like I see something brewing. But then you also like you got rid of virtually nothing. Like I mean, no disrespect to CJ McCollum or Corey Kispert, but like if you look in the past couple seasons, what guys like Desmond Bain have gone for, Mikal Bridges, even Brandon Ingram, like way more than this Trae Young trade. And I feel like those are guys kind of closer to his tier. Like I didn't mention guys like even like Kevin Durant or back in the day like Anthony, like those. That's the whole nother conversation. But I think the Wizards can afford to take a risk as well. Like you bringing in a guy like Trae Young, yes, you have the possibility of kind of upsetting this young core, I guess. But like I said, you weren't really going anywhere at the moment. So like why not take a risk on a star level point guard that might be able to come in, like I said, mentorship. He'll help with the young guys. I think he'll be a great pick and roll and pick and pop partner for Alex Sarr. Like Trae Young's still one of the best pick and roll players in the league. He's still one of the best passers in the league. I think that'll benefit him a lot. And I think the Wizards are starting to draft and bring in defenders that kind of like how this Hawks team I thought would work with Trae. Like that'll mask his defensive issues. And I think if you let this team play out next season, like let's say they get a top 3 pick and they pick up one of those. This is a stacked draft class, but let's say they pick up one of the top guys. I could see them contending for a playing spot, 7 to 10 range next season. Like who's to say Alex Sarr doesn't make a big leap, or Bub, or Trey Johnson, or maybe what's his name, Bilal. Like maybe he takes another leap. Like maybe he stays healthy. You could kind of see a variation where this starts to come to form, and they become like a okay team in the East. I wouldn't count that out. And also, you can never discount the fact that like when a guy gets traded, especially when they're at a low point and he's playing for a contract, I think he's gonna produce again at that like level where he's averaging 19 this year. Trae Young has been averaging like 28, 27, 26, 25 in his sleep throughout his career. And I think he can get back to that. And that's really that. So I gave you guys my kind of arguments for both sides. Now I just want to move into my grades for the trades on both sides. So I'm going to start with the Hawks again. My grade for them, I'm going to give them a C+. I think they held on for Trae Young for too long. If you were going to trade him anyways, like his name has popped up in rumors, I think probably for like the last 3 seasons. And I feel like had you traded him last season when he was averaging like 25, or the season before, like you probably would have been able to get more out of him. The market was a little better. It was before this like new cap situation took place. So I feel like you sold really, really low on him. Yes, you got off of his money, but you got nothing in return. You didn't even get a second round pick for your star player. Like, and I get like maybe they don't value him as much like under this new CBA, and you don't want that $46 million on your books. Understandable, but like to not even get a second round pick is like insane to me. Like I mentioned earlier, when you look at what other guys were going for in past seasons, like it makes no sense to me. And I think it's a bigger conversation of teams like the Bulls or the Pelicans are in this now. Like that report came out that they're not moving anybody. Like holding on to guys for too long and then selling at their low points. Like I'm not even going to get into like specific players, but like you look around the league, a bunch of teams, like the Lakers are a team that have done that. Like they don't get rid of guys and then you end up just letting them walk for nothing. And that's stupid to me. That's stupid and that's malpractice to me. But the Hawks at least got off of Trae Young instead of just letting him walk. Now on to the Wizards. I would give them, for them, I think this trade is kind of an A minus because again, you gave up like none of your young guys. You didn't give up any picks in this situation. And you bring back an all-star point guard for the future. And if you can keep him around and you, let's say they decide next season, oh, this isn't really working. Like, yeah, they probably promised him that deal and yeah, like it'd be bad, bad business if they don't give it to him. But like, there's nothing stopping them from being like, okay, let's move off Trae. And then he's an expiring going out somewhere else. Like, and you can maybe flip him for more assets than you like lost to get him because you were probably going to let CJ McCollum walk. And Corey Kispert he's a role player on your team. That's not even like a 3-and-D guy. Like, he's just a shooter. Like, they're replaceable. So those are my grades. Hawks C+, Wizards A-. Those are my thoughts on the trade. Like, I think the Wizards won this trade. I love seeing player movement. Like, I hate that there have been no trades like throughout like even the offseason or close to the trade deadline. Like you saw last season, there weren't a lot of trades around the deadline. Like, I think it's just good for the league, seeing stars move around, seeing players move around. It gives us something to talk about, and it's exciting. So I'm not mad at it. I got one more thing before I wrap up real quick. This is the first trade of the NBA trade deadline, and before like the trade deadline, it's the first trade of trade season this year, and I have my fingers crossed that it will adjust some of these inflated values that we've seen across the league. Like, even going back to like last season or a couple seasons ago, like you look at what guys like Desmond Bane and Mikal Bridges went for. Like, those guys, and I mean this with no disrespect, but like those guys should not be going for 4, 5, 6 unprotected firsts or 6 firsts in general, like swaps and all. Like, that level of like draft compensation, I feel like, and it used to be reserved for like top guys. Like, I'd give up 6 first round picks if I'm going out and getting Donovan Mitchell, or if I'm going out and getting Anthony Davis back in the day. Like, he didn't even go for that much. Like, the asking price for a lot of these guys is insane. It's insane. Like, Mikal Bridges is a top tier role player. He's a top tier role player in the league. Should not be going for that much value. Desmond Bane, like, he is a good shooting guard in this league, but he is not a like star. Like, he shouldn't be going for that. Like, and that's just me being realistic. Like, look at Herb Jones. The Pelicans are like, the starting price for him is 2 unprotected firsts. Like, no, nobody's paying that. Nobody's paying that for like, Herb Jones is a good DN3 player in the league, but he is a role player, and that's the starting price. Like, these teams are out of their mind, and I think and Rudy Gobert, don't even get me started. This is the trade that started this issue with the trade market and all this inflation that we've seen. Hopefully, this Trae Young trade kind of knocks people back down to earth, because like the asking prices for a lot of these guys, and I think that's probably led to why you don't see a lot of guys getting moves. Teams have overvalued their players. And I think especially under this new CBA, where you have to be more, resourceful with your resources. Like, you have to be smarter about when you're giving out seconds or when you're giving out firsts or what contracts you're taking in. I think teams are starting to come back down to earth, and I hope this is a trend and a pattern moving forward. But that's all I have for today. Thank you all so much for tuning into the Peer Review Podcast. Let me know your thoughts on the trade. Were my grades too harsh? Did you agree with what I was saying? Do you like the trade for either side? Let me know in the comments. And this is the Peer Review, signing off.